Welcome back to our live show. Here's a question for you this morning. How much money do you have in an emergency fund? Do you even have an emergency fund? Well, according to J.P. Morgan, the average household needs $4,800 in savings in order to have a cushion. Saving money can be challenging, but our next guest says it doesn't have to be. Joining us live by satellite from New York this morning is award-winning financial news journalist Lynette Khalfani-Cox. Good morning, Lynette. How are you?
Hi, good morning. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on. Great topic this time of year, especially.
Well, we threw out the whole information about emergency fund. We've heard before it was like a 3-month cushion, now 6 months to a year cushion. But unfortunately, most of us don't have a cushion at all, do we?
No, we really don't. Believe it or not, 57% of Americans have less than $1,000 saved, and almost 40% have absolutely nothing saved at all. So that's one of the reasons I'm super happy to be talking about National Savings Week. It's sponsored by Chase. It's the bank's first ever initiative, and not just for their customers, but for Americans all across the country, certainly in Virginia and beyond, to talk about the importance of savings and how it can help you to get financially healthier.
Yeah, this government shutdown kind of reiterated the fact that most of us are just a paycheck away from, being broke.
Right. I think so many people think that they can't afford to save. They do feel like they're often living paycheck to paycheck, but there's some very quick and easy ways that everybody can save more money. For starters, cut back on some of those subscriptions. A lot of us have monthly subscriptions we're paying for, things like audio or music services, those download services, magazine or newspaper subscriptions, maybe gym memberships, and some of you have fallen off the wagon already and aren't going to the gym, that kind of thing. If you just cut back, you can easily save $50 a month or so just by dumping some of those subscriptions. Another thing is your credit card debt. Pay attention to the credit card bills. If you have excessive credit card debt, it's time to start paying some of that off. Having debt, of course, prevents you from reaching your savings goals, whether that's immediate short-term savings or longer-term things like saving for retirement.
And the thing, too, is we have to maybe make the delineation between want versus need, that sometimes that spending and savings go hand in hand. So we have to cut back on one in order to do the other.
Right. I always tell people that, you might dread that B word, budget, but it's really super important to make sure that you're watching the cash flow and making sure that your expenses don't exceed your income. And speaking of that, income on the job is another place where you can actually turbocharge your savings. So whether you're a government worker, in the Virginia area who has, for example, a 457 or thrift savings plan, whether you work for a nonprofit and you have a 403B, or you work for a company where you have a 401k plan, I definitely encourage you to contribute to that employer-sponsored retirement plan. So many employers do offer matching contributions. And if they do match you, say, dollar for dollar, that's like getting 100% return on your savings. So don't tell me you can't afford to save. I always tell people you can't afford not to save. And now is the time to get started.
Absolutely, when somebody's giving you free money. Lynette, do you find that there are generational differences in how we think about savings and spending?
There are some generational differences when it comes to saving, spending, our credit use and borrowing for all different groups, whether that's millennials or Gen Xers, baby boomers, or members of the silent generation. Millennials, for example, 67% of them have less than $1,000 saved, and millennials tend to be a lot more credit averse. So a lot of them don't want to take on traditional credit cards and things like that, but that can affect their ability to establish a credit rating. So I'm always telling people you have to judiciously use credit, but just do it wisely. So you want to pay off, for example, as I mentioned earlier, your credit cards, whether you're a millennial, a Gen Xer, or a baby boomer or whatever, you want to pay them off if you can in full each month. But if you can't, then certainly exceed the minimum payment. Don't just make minimum payments, because that's going to basically keep you in debt longer than is necessary, make you pay finance charges over time, and prevent you from saving in the future.
So before we let you go, Lynette, if you had to give us the one most important tip on saving and becoming a saver, what would it be?
I guess the last tip I would say would be to automate your savings. If you can do things electronically, have your paycheck taken automatically and put into your checking account, or maybe do something like Chase offers you the ability to transfer money out of your checking account and put it into your savings account electronically and automatically, it's a great way to save. You don't see the money or miss it, you won't even think about it, you'll save more cash.
And how can our viewers find out more?
You can definitely hop online and check out chase.com/savings week to learn about National Savings Weeks and ways in which you can save more money in 2018. And I'm also encouraging your audience to join the national conversation on social media. We're using the hashtag #SavingIt and encouraging people to talk about their own savings goals for this year. And even on channels like Facebook, if you check out Chase's Facebook channel this Thursday at 4:30, follow us on the live stream there because I'm going to be hosting a special event with Deepak Chopra talking about the links between health and wealth and how we can all get financially healthier in 2018.
And we'll put all that stuff on our website so people can link to it and find out more. Thanks, Lynette, for talking to us this morning and giving us some great tips.